Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Episode 8. The Bloody Battle.
JoJo and Dio. The fated battle between men.
Yes.
Are we finally going to get to the climactic resolution?
I get the feeling like this is just going to be another battle in a sequence of battles.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be a, multi-part battle.
Sure. This next battle lasts 5 episodes until the core is completed.
Well, remember, we have all those side characters.
That's true. That is true.
Zeppeli's masters, compatriots. Yeah. So if they go in, they can make it the actual bloody battle by having there be deaths.
Yes.
And then JoJo can, of course, get bloodied and beaten down.
Right.
As well as maybe Dio getting also bloodied and beaten down, and it can be a really, really long, drawn-out, brutal punching match.
That would be awesome, because, again, like we have seen in My Hero Academia, when you have fights that have lasting injuries, it is quite good.
Yes, but Hamon, by its very nature,
kind of bypasses that. Yeah,
you either are going to die or you're going to be healed later by Hamon.
So. Right. So
I think it's fine if you have maybe the evolution of a character by the nature of the fight, not necessarily having them have necessarily a scar or a broken body in some particular part. Yeah. So let's get into this episode and see how the bloody battle becomes bloody.
よく考えてみたまえ、マドモアゼル。この花はこのまま咲き盛ってしまえば、あとは枯れゆくのみ。悲しいとは思わないかい?
Trying to convince her to. Gross.
Yep. And oh, saw that coming.
Yep.
礼儀を知らん者は生きる価値なしだな。え？聞こえないよ。
Oh,
yeah!
What a badass!
あなたは永遠に呪われている化け物よ。
Okay.
Bye, mademoiselle.
Oh my gosh!
They're already?
An anvil?
That's okay, that's awesome.
Yes, well said. Oh my gosh.
And splat. Ooh.
That theme. And break!
Wow. I thought it was just them, used Hammond to, purify it or something. That's... Oh, dang.
Yikes, that was... Whew!
I'm almost not sure whether he's an epic level monk or an epic level paladin now.
Right? Alright, these three.
And Speedwagon.
Right now, I'm calling those other three Dead 1, Dead 2, and Dead 3.
And Speedwagon.
And Speedwagon, yeah. Exactly. Such a dramatic door opening. Oh, that's a great line.
Yep.
Of the angle in which he arches his back.
Yeah. Because I do have a shred of humanity in me somewhere.
I thought you were a god.
Yeah.
Emperor
Be
seems kind
consistent,
of
man.
low. Alright. Good.
It's kind of funny that he mentions that because he hasn't seen his companions yet, so he doesn't necessarily know he's not there. Isn't that a negative emotion, though?
But it's the will of those that he's come to the past with.
Right. That's right, we need to build up Dio.
That's a cool shot of Dio, though.
And I love that he said, die like a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Did one.
Alright, now 2 and 3. Let's go.
JoJo, 行くぞ。次に死の忘却を迎え入れるのはお前よ。
Oh! Holy crap!
Okay.
That was... That was hilarious.
That was. It's not like it'll regenerate.
No, he has to drink blood in order for it to regenerate.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, pluck!
That's right.
Keep you at range. Yep.
ゲスな波紋なぞよくもこの俺に
Oh, the music's changing.
Yeah.
てめえら全員アンデッドどもの餌だ青ちょびた面を餌としてやるぜ出たな奴のこの世のどんな悪よりもどす黒い性格が
Right. So
Well
now,
said, Speedwagon.
That's right.
ダンディーな態度など単なる仮面に過ぎねえこれが奴の本性初めて味わった
So now JoJo will fight him one-on-one while they fight the monsters.
Right. Yep. Oh. His eye is all squinted.
Yeah.
Just in case any of them were filled with Hamon.
Yep.
Ooh!
Nice.
A good hit.
Oh, and arm's gone. Wow.
Woo! And what? Oh!
As he finally unlocks the OP power of regeneration.
Oh. Oh. Holy crap.
Okay.
Oh!
This is where Speedwagon's gonna come in.
Yeah. Oh, this is where the story goes bizarre.
Yeah. I love how Dio's face is split into 2 different expressions.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yep.
He's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, nice. Okay.
What?
All right.
Oh, he's continuing the cut. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, he broke it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my god.
All right. Make sure it's lined up right, Dio. Otherwise. Yep.
Like how the scar is still there.
That's catchphrase.
Conviction.
That's right. Determinator it up. Okay. All right. That's cool.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Wow.
This double tap, quick double tap.
Yeah, because quick, because.
Oh, the gargling.
Is this where the mask will like contact him and give him some new power?
I don't think so. I think this is one of those moments where you think you beat them and it's not obvious.
Yeah.
What the? What?
Okay, so
his last basically desperate act to try and stop him. Yeah, exactly.
But his body hasn't disintegrated yet.
Oh, it's falling apart.
Yeah, but
JoJo is such a tender soul.
So tuckered out.
Sure, even if he didn't like him necessarily.
And Dio killed his dog and his dad. And... There's Speedwagon's awesome.
Everything you say is an exaggeration, but keep speaking.
Right, that's why we love you.
Wow.
Okay. So
that was a bloody battle.
It was,
but they're leaving it in as a win thus far. But it's ambiguous enough,
like that
it doesn't seem like it's fully over.
So Dio has too much meme power to be out of the show.
Well,
right now.
Okay, we can think about it that way, but also, like,
just with the stuff that they've shown us,
we haven't ever seen a true villain death,
right?
Like, or any other antagonists really.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess Jack the Ripper kind of counts for that.
Yeah, but well, it looks like what I'm guessing is that the only way to actually kill Dio, no matter what you really do, is to get him in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
And because we've seen him come back from all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So he's probably still okay. But the thing is, but this is a good question. If he needs blood to regenerate,
right?
What if he was gone for a very long time?
Possibly.
You know?
What I'm thinking is that this is that point where the adventure part kind of shifts into more of a thing of discovery and not less of a hunt for Dio.
Sure.
And Dio could be dead. He could not be dead. But it's not really important right now because JoJo defeated the great evil. The question is what is next for JoJo? And I think I think he needs to go and
come full circle.
Come full circle, yeah. Go back home, rebuild the manor, you know, get back together with Erina.
Yes.
Maybe Dio will kind of be lurking in the shadows from now on.
Sure.
That's kind of been the thing I've been hoping, is that Dio's villainous nature would be kind of this constant looming presence.
Right.
And I like the idea of a bad guy that constantly sends his minions.
Yes. Right.
After, like, I loved the scheming Dio with his like, I'm on the throne and I will think about the evil things to do to JoJo. It's simple, but it just works.
He does it so well. His style and everything really lends itself to that. So,
but that was a fight.
That was like, talk about creative.
Yeah. The rose from the guy, he picks it up in the head, he grabs it and like ham-ons into it and then throws it at him, sticks him in the eye. Dio gets pissed. He's like, "You filthy monkey, how dare you!" And he freaks out.
And then
JoJo grabs a bouquet of roses and just chucks him at him. And that was kind of a Fist of the North Star kind of thing.
Possibly.
Right?
I don't know which came first, but yeah. But oh my gosh. And then and the fact that like you. All right, they've set it up that it's like this is over the top. Oh yeah. But you're going over the top when literally you cut the villain lengthwise
down to the navel.
And then they're just still alive, still talking, even though the pieces are separated.
Right.
And then they just sort of like push the pieces back together. And I loved that little thing.
Yeah.
Because you cannot mar Dio's perfect face. Like, how dare you?
Wouldn't that be funny if Dio did regenerate like that, but it was slightly off, and for the rest of his life, he was pissed
fantastic.
at JoJo because he's like ruined my face.
I really have a reason to destroy everything you love.
Dio's ego is so big that just the fact that he was blemished in such a way,
even though he's such a filthy monkey.
It was great because Speedwagon, I just want to point this out. Speedwagon is kind of one of those characters who, in fights like this, you get this picture of us as the audience being like, "Whoa, this over-the-top thing that's happening," and you have to explain it with the vipers and the snakes coming out of the head.
Yeah,
this is incredible. I feel like
he's the sports commentator,
right? But he makes up for the fact that JoJo takes everything too seriously.
Yes, absolutely. And the way he makes up for it is by taking everything even more seriously, but emoting as he's doing it, which just makes it so much better.
So do you think there's an obvious next step in the story from this point? Or do you think we're going to get introduced to something that's connected to Dio in the upcoming episode that will kind of set the pace for where the story will go from here on out? Because I feel like they tied it up potentially very nicely.
They did.
For a a hunt for Dio.
Right.
They killed the master. They had a companion die from the whole thing because Dio was a threat. JoJo, of course, overcame it by the power of those that came before him and those that
were still with him.
Those that stood with him.
Yeah.
And, suffered himself a bit.
I feel like if this was just like a movie, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the standalone movie.
This could be it.
They could end it here. The fact that there's so many more episodes means that, of course, it's not over.
Right. But they don't have to do the same story.
No, they don't. They don't. And so what I could see them doing is we might have an in-between episode where they basically resolve everything, or they might just work it in and then do like a small time skip of like, a couple years or something. They have JoJo basically, maybe he goes to like, they're the guys, Zeppelin's friends are there too, so he doesn't need to worry about like, laying Zeppeli to rest.
He learns
somehow.
more about Hamon and
he could
Ripple
learn more about Hamon and Ripple and stuff from them. And then either a new evil could arise that like he is brought to his attention,
right?
Or he could basically go to like on travels to like learn more about Hamon and things like that, and then maybe he comes across something there that is also some evil thing or whatever that must be vanquished.
Here's another thought. Dio fell down a cliff, which is a very kind of classic villain way to go.
Right.
But it's also a great way to bring a villain back. What if Dio now is no longer going to underestimate JoJo and leaves? He goes somewhere far away.
I would love to see that.
Like really far away.
Sure.
And he rebuilds his power over the long period of time.
Right.
Gets more followers and stuff, and essentially takes over a country. Like he
That way it can be a plot twist when he actually does come back.
Right, so maybe JoJo could do his travels like you're talking about.
Right.
And then he ends up in the country that Dio has now controlled, after years and years of time. And then it's like, this all seems very familiar.
And then there's like this mystery of like who's actually pulling the strings, and JoJo's all trying to figure it out. Right. And like maybe like we buy into it too, and we're thinking, oh yeah, this is some like new villain, and this is a great way to build them up.
Right. Maybe we see actually someone
but it was Dio,
Right, but maybe we see someone who is utilizing powers that are similar to, like, in between Dio and JoJo's with like the mask you can use to unlock
That's a good point. That's the real reason we know that it is not resolved yet. The mask was not destroyed.
Not yet. But I could see the mask being potentially destroyed
in the next episode.
Yeah.
Sure.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But because they used it as a thing to be unlocking the potential of someone instead of just turning people into vampires.
Although that is what it seemed to do. Like, not just to Dio, but also to the other person.
But it did different things, slightly.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it was slightly different.
Yeah, but the other guy still, like, ended up getting destroyed by the sunlight.
Right. So they probably were both vampires, but I like that it leaves it open for interpretation as to how the mask could be used in the future.
Still, it keeps it mysterious.
And I could see also JoJo being the type to where he would be not necessarily dumb, but naive enough to leave the mask, undestroyed.
Possibly. Normally,
intact.
I would say yes. Mm-hmm. I could see them doing that. However, Zeppelin's last dying words were, "Defeat Dio, destroy the mask."
Oh, here's a thought. What if this master that comes in is like, now I will return the mask to its rightful place.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And no, I'm serious. No. Like, they become the new villains.
Oh, no. I was saying, sure, like, yeah, that I could totally see that happening. And it'll be one of those obvious things where it's like, so this person's going to be the new villain. But JoJo's so naive and, like, believing that he's just like, of course, yes, you want to, yes, it was Zeppelin's mission to, find this mask, so, yeah, of course, here you go.
And then he goes back home.
Right, and then, of course, something crazy, he hears word of something crazy happening, he's like, I have to stop this.
He has to go.
Right.
The thing that I'm kind of curious about is JoJo as a character, he needs to mature a little bit.
He does.
And I could see actually a time skip as being a way to infer some maturity.
Sure, yeah.
Like, say you actually have a point where he does, reconnect with Erina, and they, start a family and stuff.
So you think we're gonna get to see JoJo's kids?
No. But maybe we see his kids, but I'm not meaning we get to see them as a part of the story. They're just kind of there.
Yeah.
But the idea is that he grows up and now he has something more relatable worth protecting.
Right.
And he becomes kind of the family man. So
sure.
maybe something threatens his country and he basically leads them in defense against this new evil or something.
Yeah. And that would also, if Dio did end up being still alive, that would give, more stuff for him to want to destroy of JoJo's. It wouldn't just be,
right, it puts the stakes more
Erina,
personal.
But also, yeah. Okay, I could see that.
I'm surprised how fast this went. I'm hoping that it's not over between Dio and JoJo because of how quick this was.
Yes.
But if you think about it, let's say that Dio is endgame villain material.
Okay.
I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
Me neither.
Because this is supposed to be bizarre.
Right.
And I think it's been bizarre, but it's been a bit tame in its bizarre nature. So having something to where the world gets bigger would make more sense.
Yes,
but having
absolutely.
Dio be just kind of this annoying thing that's out and about, the darkness and lurking in the shadows.
But
and
at the
stuff,
same time,
would be nice.
Yes, absolutely.
But not needed necessarily.
I feel like they have to keep up Dio's sort of rule of cool,
though. Right, because they did shatter it a little bit here.
Yeah. One of the things that it was a little bit jarring was that the fight seemed very slow. All the motions that they were doing, I get that, for some things, they're explaining, what's happening and, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the thing with the fire, I thought that was very clever. I loved that. Little environmental details like that really don't happen when you get into the crazier balls of energy being shot at each other fights. Yeah. But the part where the first dead one is coming in and he's going to kick, but he's literally moving super slowly, and there were those illusion things or whatever, but then they didn't end up doing anything.
Did you notice that his name was Dyer?
Yeah, it's like, really?
I'm the one that dies. My name is Dyer. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was
I
think the slow movement is intentional. I think it's a bit. I think it's like 10% like animation saving part, but it's also this JoJo style that there's going to be no.
That's true.
Fast paced.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there could be fast-paced fights, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, even in episode 3, when JoJo and Dio fought for the first time, there were times when they would be just sort of not moving and talking, actually in the middle of the fight, like in the middle of a move.
Right.
I guess I'm just still used to like when people are fighting and you know, as a way to communicate that they're fighting really fast, they'll draw a bunch more lines or, you know, do some sort of sound effect or whatever. They did not do that here.
I kind of like that. If anything, they only did that when Dio was deflecting all the roses.
Yes. and that was
so they made fun of it, special. If anything, more than actually in that regard.
Isn't this show like too old to be able to make fun of stuff like that, or is it?
I mean,
I guess the show isn't that old.
The show is not that old.
Yeah.
But the thing is the source material could have been aware of like the kind of the things that generally do go around nowadays, or a little now at that time and a little bit before.
Sure, maybe that's one of the reasons it got so popular.
We're gonna poke a little bit of fun at the animation industry in a whole. And we're gonna have really like you're not gonna beat me with those slow moving attacks.
Right.
Useless. Muda. That was great.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything to be read into it other than maybe there was a technique that he was trying to display with his little trap thing. You fell for it.
Right.
But the fact that they ended this fight though, that's the thing. I thought it was gonna be multiple episodes.
Right. Yeah.
So.
But it's over.
What we have, it's over. What we have is this really open-ended potential as to where the story can go.
Yep. Which
maybe is good. I just don't know yet because we don't know what's coming yet.
All right, maybe this is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I would say this is at the very least the end of an arc, even if it's not the end of Dio.
Really?
No, like little mini arcs, like because JoJo's like so far has been the arcs have been a lot shorter, right?
Sure. Let's say this is like the Dio arc for now,
right?
Or the part one,
Dio arc or something, right? Then what they could do is basically for every different arc, maybe there's another 8 episodes that we get with Dio, like, you know, after an episode break or immediately after or whatever. But for every one of those, they basically up the level of bizarreness. Mm-hmm. You know, they do something like there was the mask in this one, and then maybe like Dio was usually using like his frost powers, you know. Mm-hmm. But then there was like the laser eye thing or whatever that was.
Well, like that was what I expected it to be. It was a Balrog thing where he lashes out with the whip trying to drag Gandalf down the chasm. Yeah. And it was
impressive.
The companion who I thought would be dead too, was like the last dying gasp of a demon falling to its death or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. So all of whatever his essence was, you know, went out to, you know, kill those remaining. But the thing that's funny is that it did hit JoJo. So one of the potential things is that where this could go bizarre is that JoJo maybe has to fight with Dio inside him. Or becomes a vampire.
Or becomes a vampire, or potentially even better. What if that... Basically, the fact that it wounded JoJo is enough to basically somehow give blood to Dio for him to be able to start regenerating.
Within JoJo?
Well, no, like when the laser hit him, like maybe like that laser sort of like sucked out a little bit of his blood, right?
Oh, you mean there was
yeah.
Oh, weird. Now I thought it was more of a thing of him trying to basically essence transfer like in Bane.
Okay.
He was basically sending out his soul as fast as he could, and just like, if I hit anything living, I'll at least be able to pass on to that.
That would be trippy and fantastic if they ended up doing some kind of mental battle. What I was thinking is that it would be something where basically that little bit of JoJo helps him survive, and then basically he comes back and maybe he gets some sort of twisted Hamon powers too.
Cool.
And that could be the way that they could have them constantly be escalating and it always unsure of who's better.
Right. I like the idea of Dio stealing something from JoJo in order to better himself, because that's kind of the whole theme of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the crazy theories I have is that when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, wait a minute. If it's essence transfer, let's say JoJo doesn't know it yet. And Dio is residing inside him.
Okay.
And begins growing stronger. And then he has this conflicting will and this urge to kill and feed and all those other things. And it becomes this thing where the adventure is him trying to get free of Dio.
Sure.
But the reason why he goes on an adventure to do it is because Dio takes over at a very inopportune moment.
And hurts his family.
Kills Erina.
Okay, yeah, that would be fantastic. Horrible. It would be horrible, but it would be fantastically horrible. And one of the other reasons,
it's just bizarre enough that it could be true.
And it's bizarre enough that it could be true. And one of the other reasons that it would be amazing is it would force development and growth on the part of JoJo, right? Because right now he is very much that lawful good type character. And if something like that happened, that would at very least make him come to terms with the idea that even though Dio is affecting him and controlling him, there are things that it was his body that did certain things. That could be really cool.
That would be really cool. I don't really have any predictions as to anything beyond potentially the next episode.
Maybe just a minor time skip for me.
Thus far. Yeah, I like the idea of a time skip. I like the idea also of these new characters that got introduced this episode carrying themselves into the next episode with some kind of plot device and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they had to end this right here as a movie with maybe a little bit of recap epilogue stuff coming in this next episode, I would be very happy. And I think they could do it really well because the story is relatively linear. But if you think about it, what they did right now, and probably what they'll show in the next episode, is basically a microcosm of the hero's journey. Joseph Campbell stuff.
Sure.
So what's
the next thing?
What's the next step of a hero that's completed the hero's journey?
Well, I think that's kind of the issue. I mean, you can have the Star Wars thing happen where the first part is the hero's journey and the next parts are something different that builds off of what the original was.
Right.
But the hero's journey, it's just sort of it resolves things with a nice bow.
Well, I'm saying is what happens when a hero completes their journey, but Luke Skywalker in the new Star Wars movies gets basically forced out of retirement.
Sure.
What happens if say the hero comes back home, does the thing, he's finished, and then we time skip, 10 years later or so.
Right.
We have an older adult JoJo now.
Yeah.
And what kind of plots bring them back into the thing? A threat to their family, a threat to that
probably what
they worked on in the previous bit.
It would probably.
But if it's Dio, I really want this possession thing to be a thing.
That would be.
I really want it.
That would be so cool.
That would be so awesome.
That would be amazing.
As a show for right now, there's a couple weak points in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now as we go, but I like how fast-paced it is, despite how kind of slow
it is.
Well, I would say how small amount of things happen. There's a small number of things that happens, but the pace at which the things happen is relatively fast.
Right. The overall story progression, they did what, for all intents and purposes, could be a fully resolved story in 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
I mean, you wanted Dio to die. Yes. You wanted JoJo to defeat Dio.
I don't know. I wouldn't have minded if it ended up just being so what now, Jack Sparrow? We be 2 immortals locked in an epic battle until Judgment Day and trumpets sound.
Or you could surrender.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good.
I would have liked that, but I appreciate where they've gotten us to thus far.
Yes,
if we have to shift forward and do an entirely separate, different arc, I'm okay with that. But I want some carryover. Absolutely, yes. I'm sorry, I don't want some carryover. I want a ton of carryover.
Right. Yeah.
So whatever it is, I'm for it. That would be great. All right, so if you want to see the next episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon early access. Also, get on the Discord. We'd love to chat with you there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later, guys. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.